interaction. So how can you combine text to speech? So that's speech synthesis. For whole study camera on the mobile platform or the LiDAR sensor. Okay, so the laser sensor is also one of the things that you can use to do path plannings for robots. And then you'll learn things about like the simultaneous localization and mapping. So that's everything that's the very core technology actually under the autonomous navigation or the driverless car nowadays, right? If you want to work with Tesla, right, though they are looking for people that know about navigations, etc. Okay, object manipulations. So that's about the programming of the robotics arm. Inverse forward kinematics calculations. So how can you program a robotics arm to carry out certain tasks? Last but not least, the objective of introducing all these modules is we hope that you can think of a product or a solution that you can use to combine this individual module. For example, probably you have watched the TV, there's like the COVID-19 mask detector, right? It can detect whether you are wearing a mask or not, right? So just take this as an example. For the robot to detect whether you are wearing a mask or not, it needs to see you. And if you're not wearing a mask, it needs to come to you and to speak to you. So there's a vision and speech. So
recording in progress.
Hands-on session. So you have like hands-on practical sessions in the lab. There's also and then with the theoretical contents as well. So the red color is a practical sessions that you can use. And of course also can be using the simulator to help with if you do not have the robot or just using the Jupyter I/O. Okay. All right. So how do we get started, right? So one of the offerings of is that we actually can offer to make a workshops. I have like what we did recently at Taylor's University. So this is in Malaysia for the Department of Engineering for the lecturers, right? So these are like trainer workshop for 3 days where we will give an overview of the material that I mentioned just. It could be on site, like face to face. It could be also online, like what we did during the pandemic time, Mexican University. But of course now I think the COVID-19 has slowly been over, that we would love to come to Indonesia to provide a training or the workshop to either directly to the teachers or even directly to the students. Okay, it could be like 3 days, 5 days, up to a week of this kind of workshop, right? The bank here. Okay, all right. So in terms of customers, so actually everything they have told you so far, we first started our initiative in mainland China, and for the high schools, like for the high schools or even vocational schools in China. Probably you have heard about how the Chinese government is very much into artificial intelligence, and they've really got the support from the government to launch such an AI robotics in class. And that's where we first commercialize our solutions. And I'm based in Singapore, Malaysia, actually for the rest of the world, that I mainly, still engaging with universities in the region, all right? So I'd like to take 2 examples, right? With University Malaya in Malaysia, so we actually delivered like 30 units of the Jupyter I/O to the Department of Artificial Intelligence from the Faculty of Computer Science and IT, where for the students, for the computer science students to do their final year project, okay? And then we are working with Dr. Zati Hakim from the University Malaya to try to see if we can support her in delivering the 2 subjects that she's teaching at UM, the intelligent robotics and fun with robots, okay? The other things in the region, for example, with Egypt. So Egypt, it's Arab Academy for Science, Technology and Maritime Transport in Egypt. We actually have been supporting the students from Egypt to join RobotCup at Home Education Challenges. That I'm also working with Mr. Karim here to set up an AI lab at the academy in Egypt. You also got our Jupyter robot as well, the Jupyter I/O over there in Egypt. All right, so these are one of the two main customers or main clients that I hope that can soon put the name of ITS here as well, that we can also start something together in the future. Okay, all right. I would like to touch a bit of, since there are many students here, so, and then I know ITS is very active in robotics competition. So I also want to take this opportunity to mention a few words about Robot Cup. Okay, so Robot Cup is a worldwide AI and robotics competition, and there are many different categories. As I said, ITS is already joining with some of the categories like humanoid, some of the categories. Okay, so we are active in this category called Robot Cup at Home. So like the name implies, it's about robot in a domestic environment, right? You know, robot in your home, right? You want a robot to help you to do something in your home. So that's about how can you use AI and robots in the domestic environment. So we are recently in Bangkok, Thailand for Robot Cup 22, where we supported the participants through a workshop.
Lomba nggak pernah menang kok. Gimana?
Biasanya
kan ada sertif. Tapi emang peserta iso nek lomba.
It's about yeah. It's okay. Okay, it's okay. Okay. The workshops in Bangkok for the participants of RoboCup, and further, we have also supported the participants to join competitions. Okay, so I want to share the last video of my presentation today, where it was actually produced by a group of high school or international school students from Thailand. Okay, and it actually just joined everything within like 5 days, join the workshop and then subsequently join the competition. And then they are actually 14 years old. I think you are older than 14 years old here, right? So that's why I think, so these are very impressive team. And I think similarly, there must be talent among yourself that are able to also join such a competition in the future.
Hello, we are the Neophyte.
Hi, I'm Natanisha from the Newton Sixth Form School. I'm 14 and I'm currently studying in grade 8.
Hi, my name is Tiratas Asavat Rimchai. My nickname is Ultra. I'm an 8th grader from Shrewsbury International School.
My name is Nitcha Patkurakit Wanit. You can call me Sand. I'm 14 years old and I'm currently an 8th grader at Shrewsbury International School, Bangkok.
My name's Chachalin Lerjotpadin. You can call me Chai.
Before the competition, we attended the workshop at Kasetsat University. It was the first time we experienced what real service robots were like.
I don't think I can find a chance to attend a university level camp like this anywhere else.
Me and my team get started about ROS and Jupiter Robot. We were taught about nearly everything we needed to know for the competition.
As a teacher, I think the Jupiter robot is a great tool for the students to develop their skill in the robot programming and AI development.
After the workshop, we went straight into the RoboCup at Home 2022 competition. There were 3 tasks: carrying my luggage, find my mate, and receptionist. They were very challenging to us, not only because of what the robot has to do, but also because of such a short period of time we had and such little experience we had at that time.
This year, World Robo Cup is held in the Bangkok. This is a very good opportunity to the students to improve their skill and experience to use the robot and AI function.
For the RoboCup competition, all the challenges were very hard considering our age and our limited time, but we managed to pull through with our team and finished them.
We were also the youngest ones among there, with me being the youngest one on our team. The experience we had at Bitech was truly amusing and really sociable.
I liked the environment in the event most since everyone was friendly and we all had different fun activities to do. It was all very lively and fun, and I would like to join this competition in the upcoming year.
This competition also taught me a lot how to work under pressure and how to keep myself calm while dealing with all the tasks. I think it was a very remarkable experience.
that is RoboCup 2022, and RoboCup 2023 will be held in France in June next year, 2023. So yeah, and it needs to start preparation early. So if anything, yeah, so we can also discuss about that if it is something that ITS would like to join. But otherwise, I think there are many regional activities, or we hope that you can even start this in Indonesia, whether in Surabaya or even within the national level, right? Because I think you have a contest robot Indonesia, and this is somehow is an initiative that they also require local collaborations that to make it happen here in Indonesia. Okay, all right. So I come to the final slide of my presentation. So basically, I said there are many different things that we can do together, but I just list out all these potential opportunities area, right? So first and foremost, yes, we hope we can support you in pendidikan, right? In education, where it could be for students from all different background or all different levels. Because I think there are many AI education out there, as I said, but most of them, they are very much data science centric or very much computer science focused. But what we hope to do is to show to students that you can learn kecerdasan buatan in a practical way using robotics. And then this could be like a formal classes that you want to introduce, or a subject or elective subjects, or any type of this type of education offering that you may have here at ITS. Training. So training, so this refers to like a program that is dedicated for non-students, right? If you have any programs that you are offering to the public, that it can be also be like a 3 days workshop, 3 days short-term courses that you can provide to professionals, to engineers, to anyone that would like to learn AI and robotics. Okay. Research, so we have actually have a few professors that has published papers using the Jupyter robot as a prototype, right? So, and if you are working in any of this direction, service robot development, but you do not have any robot, right? I mean, this could be opportunities where you can like customize the Jupyter robot because it's an open platform to become your, the prototype for your research project. And last but not least, I say on behalf of RoboCup at Home Education, so I would like to welcome you students to join the competition. As I say, whether internationally, directly international, at the next one will be in France, or it could be something smaller scale, right? Whether we can integrate this within the Contest Robot Indonesia, or any kind of program or open day event that you may have here. It can be also within ITS or within in Surabaya, etc. You can invite other universities. So we have been supporting them, and we can also support you if you want to organize similar competitions in Surabaya and beyond. Okay, all right. So I come to this is a final slide of my presentation, but just like I mentioned about ROS, I just want to take you a few minutes more just to explain to you a bit about the robot operating system as well. Okay, all right. So ROS, so Robot Operating System, is a set of open source software framework. Actually, the introduction course is 5 days. So I'm not going to do a 5 days or even longer introduction. But basically, yes, it's something, as I say, is a standard operating system when you want to do robotics research and development, or even if you join industry. So mostly they are working with ROS. And I found this picture also very insightful. Before the RS, like all of you like work separately. And then someone in the US, they introduced robot operating systems so that you can share your codes, you can use the open source resources from anywhere else, and then you can do together and do your, develop your robotics platform. But this is probably not so interesting for you as a student, why I think it's important for you to learn ROS. There's actually a lot of companies worldwide that are using ROS in their development programs, in their manufacturing systems using robotics, right? So this may be also a bit abstract, but let me go a bit more concretely. Why we think it's important for students, if you are interested in robotics, to learn ROS, is that actually it's very much desired in the job market. Okay, so if you are going to graduate soon, I think one of the key concerns that you may have is that you want to find a job, right? Or you want to find a good job. So I actually went to look for the job description, right? Okay, so these are a few examples. In Malaysia, so this is a role called Senior AI Developer by a company, okay? And I tried to look for what are the requirements. And they actually say that they need the candidates to have open CV experience, convolutional neural network, and YOLO, etc. And these are actually the very software that I mentioned just now in our learning initiative. The other examples from Singapore, Changi Airport. So when they want to employ robotics engineer, they actually said that they need students to be experienced with ROS. Gazebo will be strongly preferred. And yesterday when I arrived in Surabaya, I actually also went to look for something in Indonesia so that I can present it to you. Also, this company, PT Widya Inovasi Indonesia. So you know that? Okay, so they actually got previously they got a job role called robotic software engineers. And then dalam deskripsi pekerjaan, it actually said that membuat program dalam robot operating system. Okay, and then berpengalaman dengan robot operating system, berpengalaman dalam mengolah 2D, 3D image and point cloud. And these are actually the very contents that I mentioned to you just now. And this is a proof that it's actually asked by the companies. So if I don't who from you want to work with this Widya University, but I just take this very example. I just found it within 1 minute. Yeah, so this is a proof to show to you that it is actually something that's required in the job market, right? When it comes to robotics, software development, etc. And we hope that we can support you in equipping yourself, because these are something that you just don't learn usually in your course, and you need to either do a special project, etc. And this could be one of the ways where we can support you, yeah, in starting to learn ROS. Okay, so that's basically my presentation today. Before I go to the very quick demo, ada apa soalan, questions?
So, any questions regarding the presentation that Mr.
Silakan,
Jerry
Indonesia,
has presented? Anybody want to ask questions? Please just raise your hand and Mr. Jerry will.
Silakan pakai bahasa Indonesia.
It's okay to use in bahasa actually.
Yes.
Maybe anyone in Zoom would like to ask some questions?
So yes, Linux. Ada siapa yang tanya soalan? If you want to ask a question, oh, I think nobody posted on the Zoom yet.
Anybody in Zoom will, if you have any question, just put in a chat or unmute your microphone.
Yes. In the meantime, we also welcome participants here in ITS. Yes, ada seorang. Yes. Please unmute yourself and you may post your questions in English or in Bahasa Indonesia.
Anyone in this room would like to give questions to Mr. Jerry? Yes, please just use the microphone on your table to ask for Mr. Jerry, or you may use my microphone.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
A very good explanation about the Jupyter robot. You are mentioned that there are many such kinds of processor in robot. Arduino or STM?
Arduino?
Or STM30.
Okay.
My question is, what the processor is used in the robot Jupyter? Because my knowledge, Arduino, the ROS program cannot in Arduino.
Exactly. So you have answered the questions, the question yourself. So we are not using Arduino. We are not using microcontroller simply because it cannot run the software that we want you to learn. So we are using Intel i5 processor. It's a laptop.
Oh, Intel.
Yeah, it's a laptop, right? Okay. So because we need the computing capabilities, right?
Okay, thanks, sure.
Ya, terima kasih.
Okay, thank you so much for the questions. Anyone want to ask another questions to Mr. Jordan? I feel like it's a really good opportunity for you guys to know more about robotics, about anything that you may want to
Yes,
ask. Please,
The
Mr.
lecturers,
Aka.
yes.
Thank you, Mr. Jeritan. It's a very, very nice presentation. So I'm very interested with the collaboration, I think. Yeah, collaboration opportunities. You said about the research, and then we have a opportunity to develop of Jupyter robot. So how do we make a collaboration for this kind of robot?
Okay. All right. So first of all, I also want to emphasize, so the strength of our company is really on the education side. Okay, so we hope that we can make it a better education offering for you to teach in the class, or for you to conduct lab session, etc. So in terms of research, it may not be we are doing the research directly with you, but there are two things that we can support you. So first is, of course, the platform itself. So the platform, as I say, with the workshop, with the material, you can actually modify. If you want to do a research on COVID-19 robot, you can use a robot. If you want to do a research on agriculture, then you can also pick the robot and agriculture robot, because ultimately it's about the modules. Okay, so that's the thing. And then the other one is, of course, if you are looking for partners from university around the world, especially those that we have linkage or current connection, I'll be happy to do any introduction. So it may not be we are doing the research directly, because ultimately, to make it simple, we want to train the people that know to do the research for you.
Yeah.
We want to train the students that they can join your research team.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So yes. So that's about, yes. But as I said, if we can discuss, like if you have any grants, for example, right, then we can discuss how we can make it a possible business case to have the Jupyter robot as part of your project. Then I'll be happy to start this discussion about that. But just to be outright, I'm also just a very small company, right? So we are really not a big company that we can do a sponsorship, etc. But I would like to know more about how can we try to work together to identify financing possibilities that we can use this in any of your research project, or even if you have a new subject, a new curriculum, or a revision of the curriculum, that we can support you just as well as.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Jerry.
Yes.
Okay. Is anyone here want to ask more questions, or anybody in Zoom would like to ask any questions to Mr. Jerry Tan in this opportunity? Please just unmute yourself or raise your hand. Okay, so awesome presentation from Mr. Jerry Tan. Okay, so anyone here want to ask more questions?
What about the competition? Any of you has joined the Contest Robot Indonesia or the RobotCon Indonesia, or any kind of robotics competition, or you want to join in the future? Yeah.
Any one of you has joined robot competitions before? Just please raise your hand.
Yes, you want to share your experience or what you have joined, and
just please share your experience. What is your most favorite things about doing robots?
My experience in robotic competition is in 2022. The campus winner in Abu Robocon 2022 in Jimu, China.
Okay.
And then in 2021, the team of ETS Robocon winner in in 2022 in New Delhi, India, and 2021 in China.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So you joined the
Abu Robocon.
Abu Robocon. Okay. Will you be interested to learn something like this? Artificial intelligence, kecerdasan buatan, right? Yes. Okay. So there's a yes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So
yes, there's a question from Zoom. I'm Anton from India. How can we get the ROS? Is this a group discussion? Does it present by? Okay. Okay, so that's a good question from Antonio Sigrid
Anthony.
Priharsanto from UNCIA.
UNCIA, it's a university name
it's a
outside IPS.
Okay. So it's a university. All right. Okay. Hi. So robot operating systems is an open source software development framework. So where can you get? Actually, you can download. So you can download the software online. But the problem is, it's very difficult for you to set up the system on yourself. So you can try, and it's very difficult. And you can also read on your own. So there's a wiki tutorial. So everything is free. So you can look for information. But the problem is, out of 10% that do that, 9%, they just give up because it's just very difficult. Okay. So to answer your question is that you can get it online if you just Google ROS, Robot Operating System. But before that, you need to install like Ubuntu Linux on your computer, and you can install ROS. But more importantly, I also want to know more. If you may just somehow leave a contact, or you can I can just contact you later. Is that what do you want to use ROS for? Is it do you want to teach in a class, or you want to develop a project? Or yes, I mean if you want to teach in a classroom, so that is the education solutions that we provide with the Jupyter IO. That you do not need to do anything installation, right? You just plug and play. I'm going to do the demo shortly, but yes. And then is there a group discussion? So there's a community behind ROS. So it's a worldwide open source community that you can look at the ROS. If you just Google and search for ROS, Robot Operating System, you can find there's a forum. You can ask questions and everything there. And then does it present bilaterally? No. So I say, we are not the supplier, we are just a user of ROS. You can use it yourself, but we just make it easier for you if you want to start learning ROS, especially use ROS to develop practical service robot development projects. Okay? All right. Yes, thank you very much, Antonius. Sigrid.
Okay, thank you so much for Anthony from Zoom, from UNISA, for asking the question to Mr. Jerry. So, is anyone here want to ask more questions to Mr. Jerry? Just please raise your hand, or any one of you in Zoom, just please unmute yourself. Oh, it's Arya Wisnu from UMP. Just please unmute yourself to ask questions to Mr. Jerry.
Excuse me. So my name is Arya Wisnu Pribadi. I'm from ITS, but currently I'm studying at University of Malaysia Pahang. And I want to ask some question. Is a Jupyter IO just like a regular mini PC, or there is also a microcontroller inside it? And how about the weight and dimension of this Jupyter IO? Thank you.
Okay, I only get partially. I think the question is the Jupyter IO a basic version, right?
Yeah, is there any microcontroller in that, or what is the operating system inside of it, or
okay.
that?
All right, that's a good question. So as I said, the Jupyter IO is a learning device. There's no computer on it, okay? So it's using the computing capabilities of your computer, and basically you just plug it via the USB port, and then you can boot it up from the Jupyter IO. So I'm going to demo in a short while if there's no other questions. But yeah, to answer your question, yes, it's an AI learning device. To put it simply, is that we want to install the camera and set up everything for you directly without you doing any installation and from any computer. Okay, so I can yes. Probably I will share also my email address in the chat room to everyone. Yeah, that you can also post it to me just in case I didn't answer your question fully. Yes, but I'm going to demo in a short while the Jupyter IO. And before I do that, so any other questions? Ada apa-apa soalan?
Any other questions before we jump into the demonstration of the Jupyter IO robot? I think it's enough and no more questions in today's event. So for Mr. Jerry, let's jump into the demonstration robotics.
Okay. So it's very well. Okay, so basically I have a computer here, right? So those of you having a MacBook, so this is like a Apple computer, okay? So what, as you say, MacBook has its internal
Ayo maju
operating
yuk,
system.
biar dekat sini ayo. Ayo maju, ayo.
Yes.
Everyone can come closer.
Yeah. If you, for those that are in the classroom, I mean, you may come a bit closer. Okay. So you see, so this now my laptop is off, right? So I just plug it in. Okay, and then I will start my computer. Okay, and then when I start my computer for Mac, I will press this button. Okay, and you need to find out how you're going to do that for your computer. So it's basically how you boot from an external drive. If you have done that before, right? So okay, so for Mac, if I press this button, you ask me to choose whether I will boot from this laptop or I will boot from the external device. Okay, so I will choose it here, and then I'll press the enter, and that's it. Okay, so that is the Linux Ubuntu systems on a computer with the ROS and with all the software already installed, integrated, without doing any installation. Okay, I can also do it on your computer as well. So you can use any computer, any laptop. And basically the idea is that we don't want you to waste time to set up the system, because it's going to take you a lot of time. And then we thought that the best part is actually, especially if the teachers are going to teach in the class, you have 20, 30 of you. So the fastest way is just straight away plug it and then you can just get started. Okay, so now I set up the Jupyter robot on the computer without any software installation. And with that, we can actually start the learning, right? Okay, so let me, so the way how it works is that, so I will open up the, like our user manual, okay? I'll just run a quick demo, okay? So, so this is, by the way, the Python programming, right? So that's what I told you just now, that that's the only requirement, okay? And then basically I'm going to start this, and that's it. So you see, within one minute, so I've set up computer vision face detection algorithms. Okay, so there's a camera here, and then if you will we just pre-program it so that it will detect the person. So you have to look at the screen. Okay, yeah. Okay, so you see when I come here, it can even detect my eyes. Okay, and this is the kind of assignment that we hope you can think of, right? For example, I ask you to do a project to say selamat pagi to the visitor, and then or to say selamat pagi only to the teachers of ITS. Then you need to do something. Yeah, how you train the camera to recognize faces, etc. But you can do all that with just a plug and play. Okay. So this is basically the demo that I want to. Of course, you can do many more things. You can also run the script to recognize voice. But what I want to show you is that actually, usually it's very difficult for you to set up something like this, right? In fact, I was recently at a university. He told me that there's a student that was doing the master's program. Her master's project is 5 months. She spent the first 4 months to do what I was doing just now, just to set up the system, because it's just very difficult. You need to get the hardware, you need to buy the camera, you need to install the camera, you need to install the software. It's just very difficult. And by the time you set up everything, the time is already over. And you haven't thought about what you want to do. So that's why we hope we can, work with you if you see there's opportunities that, with such a device that you can get started in learning computer vision anywhere, right? So just simply plug with any computer, okay, regardless which operating system, and then just plug and play. Okay? So ada apa soalan lagi? So so again, these are very simple face detection algorithms. So if you want, you can also come. Basically, it can detect the face. Yes, exactly. So this is OpenCV. OpenCV. So
Okay.
so these are the software that you can also use it. You can install and use it yourself. Okay, it's open source. You also know it, right? And you don't need to buy this to do this as well, but it just probably take you longer, right? And then we just make it easier so that if you want to teach in the class, right, you can give an assignment. For example, the assignment you use this device to put there or put at the door, and it will say hello to the visitor, and it will say selamat pagi to the ITS staff, etc. So you can do all the kind of different assignments for your course.
Oh,
And the
okay.
students will have the device.
There's one question from Zoom.
Yes.
So you use the Linux and ROS from Jupyter IO and only use the screen and keyboard of the laptop to work, isn't it right?
Okay. So I said you actually, in this system, we only use the computer, the processing capabilities here. It's using the camera of the Jupyter IO. So the Jupyter IO come with a camera and come with a microphone and speaker system. Okay, so yeah. So is it a question? I think it's right.
Yeah, isn't it right?
Yeah. Yeah, you need to use a screen because you are still working with a laptop, right? So this is the Ubuntu system, the Ubuntu Linux development terminal.
Okay. Is that answering the question from you, cause Julius me? Is that answered your questions?
We use the Linux and ROS from Jupyter IO and only use the screen and keyboard of the laptop. Yes, you can think it like this because I said it's like you set up the whole system on your laptop without the need for you to do the installation. But it's used the computing capabilities of your laptop, yet with a device like this. By the way, there's nothing like this in the market. So that's why it's very difficult to explain to you what it is, because there's no other equivalent product, right? And we designed this initially for our own purpose as well, because as a developer, we found it very troublesome to install and uninstall each time. Because not all of us has two computers, right? So if you have two computers, then it's okay, you do it once. But problem is I have only one computer. But I need to use Zoom, I need to use Microsoft Windows or the Words, PowerPoint, and all these are for my report and everything. So it's better to use the usual Windows or Mac computer. But for robotics development, I need to have Ubuntu and Linux. And that's the only way I can do like a portable installation, right? So yeah, or portable setup without any installation. Okay?
I think it's clear enough for the questions from you, Yulasmi. Okay, thank you.
Ada apa lagi soalan here?
Any questions?
Don't be afraid with the words robotics, right? It doesn't have to be robotics. This is actually part of a robot, but it's not a robot, right? So I mean, it's a computer vision, so it's AI applications. So that's why it's either you can learn kecerdasan buatan, aplikasi kecerdasan buatan, or you can build a robot. If you want, we have the service robot as well. Okay? All right, so that is what I prepared. So I say, feel free to take your seat again. Yeah, I mean, if you have any other questions.
Is there any other questions from everyone in this room? Just please raise your hand, or anyone in Zoom would like to ask questions, just please unmute yourself to ask the question to Mr. Jeritan.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Jerry Tans, about your demo and also your presentation.
Yes.
And also, I'm very interested with maybe we can make a collaboration, and also for the student, we can join the competition for the RoboCup as well. Amar my student, has an experience for RoboCup 2022 and 21. Yeah, okay. So, any question again? maybe.
Or any other feedbacks, right?
Oh,
Is
yeah,
this
feedback.
interesting for you? Or what is your concern? Yeah, just simply say.
Okay, feel free to make a conversation. Yeah, maybe in Bahasa it's okay, and then I can translate it to English, or Mr. Jerry can answer with Melayu or Bahasa also.
Yes. Ada soalan?
Yeah, mostly our student very shy, maybe.
So shy, they're just so shy.
And then feel free, come. Yeah, this is your first opportunity. You,
Yeah, or have you learned
yeah.
anything like this before, right? If you are in engineering or in computer science,
Oh, me.
Yes.
Okay.
I wonder, like, when you want to start to learn about AI or robotics, do you have like, what is the first step? What is your recommendations, or like how you started, like from where or from what platform they want to learn to develop our skills in robotics and AI? I think that's it, because I actually really interested in that, but I have to admit that I didn't have any skills, I didn't have any, capability in learning and in understanding, because I found it like robotics and AI world is so complicated in my mind, because it's good programming, it's coding like that. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's a good question. So it's just a general sharing, right? So basically, as I mentioned just now, so before the things that I introduced to you today, it does require you at least to have the basic in programming first. So that's why I say that will be the first step. Okay. And you can learn Python actually either officially, formally through a course, or you can learn from YouTube as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So there are many ways you can learn for free, or you can, there are many ways you can, and Python is one of the easiest already, right? So easiest. So that's why I will recommend you as a first step. And also to the teachers and the lecturers, that would be the prerequisite, right? So if you want to like conduct the class, that all students should know Python or programming before, because we just do not have the time to teach coding, and there are many people who are teaching coding, right? So that's why it's not included. Just like if I teach you how to write essay, you need to know the alphabet. So the alphabet is the coding, right? And that's the only requirement, and that's what I would recommend you as a first step to get started. And then later on, I said, we actually make it easier for you to learn with our solutions. And then that's why I hope that, we can have the education discussion about how we can support you in delivering some of the subjects here at ITS. That's basically, but since we are here, I would like to share. So since I'm here, I also want to share with you, because I think some of you probably have seen this type of robotics before. And probably this is what you have in mind when I mentioned to you about robotics. But I would say that it is quite a basic school level robotics education. But the reason why we want actually you to think of the service AI robotics is actually, this is the same thing that I played when I was 15 years old, like 20 years ago. But it doesn't really change, right? If you go to high school nowadays, they are still learning this, right? But the world has changed. We talk about a car that doesn't even a driver. So that's why we thought that actually there must be something lacking, because at the universities, if you really want to study robotics, whatever you learn here is actually not applicable. So we actually realize that there's a different approach, right? If you look at this type of robotics, right, they are based on a concrete parameters, right? Or you have a few parameters, right? So you need to make it follow the lines, a few conditions, right? It's ideal world. If you go to the streets of Surabaya, you have a traffic jam, you have a Jakarta, there's a chaotic situation. These are very different things altogether. So that's why I say it's a conceptual problem versus this is the real world problems. And we hope that you will want to learn real world problems because you are going to join a company, you need to solve real world problems. It's not theoretical. And that's actually the main motivation behind why we want to do AI robotics is to address the gap, to prepare you better if you want to further your studies in AI, in robotics. You need to have the real skills, the real software that can be used to solve real problems. And that's the real world problems that we are focusing here. Okay, so that's what I hope it could somehow inspire you. And I say coding is the first step, but there's a lot of things to learn. Even the things that I mentioned to you just now, you can learn from 1 year, 2 years, up to 10 years. It's still got things to learn because there's so many things, right? There are speech, vision, navigation, etc. Okay, so yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jerry.
Okay.
Anyone of you guys want to ask more questions to Mr. Jerry?
I think enough, yeah? All clear?
Is that all clear?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. This one.
I want to ask.
Yes.
This model it can be run in only Ubuntu or other operational system based Linux, maybe Debian, maybe Kali Linux and another.
Yes. Okay, so that's a good question as well. For the software that I mentioned just now, right? So if I just go back a bit, so if I just show you the software, where is the software? Yeah. Okay, let's come up. But basically, these are the software that we are using, right, in our system. Basically, you can some of the software you may be able to install it in the Windows as well. What I want to say is that actually you can do everything on your own. You can do everything on your own without buying the product, okay? But the problem is that it just probably take you a bit longer, take you a bit more effort. And then we actually created the Jupyter robot system so that you can have everything at one go, already installed and integrated, and then in an Ubuntu Linux system. So to answer your question, I say some of the software may be able to run on Windows, etc. But that is just in one software. But what we are now talking is about how can you integrate the different software on one systems. And that's what we introduced with the Jupyter robot system. Okay? Yeah. Thank you, terima kasih. Yeah. All right. Anyone? Yes, anything?
Yeah, you can use bahasa if you're not comfortable with English.
Apa-apa juga boleh tanya. Jangan segan.
Ya, jangan segan. Tanya saja. Cukup? I think it's enough, Jerry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I would like to thank you for your attention for your participation on today's session. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I have distributed some of the papers as well that you can take home or you can share with your colleagues. Yeah. You have my contacts on there, and then as well generally
Yes.
with Andrew as well. Yes. Anything, please reach out, and I hope that I can meet some of you in some other occasions. Yeah.
Okay.
terima
So
kasih.
maybe when my student also and then people is free to ask you by email or not?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Yes.
maybe they are shy to
So
ask question here.
I posted my email address
Yeah.
on the Zoom chat, but it's also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, on the piece of
On the
paper
paper,
that I
yeah.
distributed. Or otherwise, you can reach out to Hendro, which has all my contact. Yes.
Okay.
So,
Okay, feel free to ask Mr. Jerry Tan, yeah.
Or you want, like, if you have a robotics club here, I don't know if you have any
Yeah,
robotics
we have,
club. You want to start something, activities, workshop, banking, or competition, just let us know. Okay.
Oke, jadi kalau ada pertanyaan silakan bisa ditanyakan melalui emailnya Pak Jerry ya. Jadi feel free. Kalau kalian belum ada pertanyaan ataupun malu bertanya di sini. Oke, thank you.
Oke, terima kasih semua.
Applause ya.
like, all right, what a wonderful and remarkable speaks and talks. Everything is very insightful for us. We got full knowledge today from Mr. Jerry Tan. I'm really happy. It's such a really pleasure to have you today into the opportunity, and for Mr. Eka too. And previously, Mr. Tata was here with us, and he has to go. To sum up today's material, to sum up today's talk, it's actually fun and easy to learn artificial intelligence from robotics. Moreover, now we don't need to build robot from scratch, is it? Like we already, there are already a lot of modules provide, and anything you can learn from anywhere also. And we can always start from anywhere. Even you can start from your house. Do research and do robots. It's very easy to learn AI from robotics. You can even start at home. It's very important to have robotic skills and artificial intelligence skills, since it's very highly demanded in our jobs market, is it? Okay, as Mr. Jerry has already told you. So, thank you so much for Mr. Jerry for the awesome knowledge and remarkable talks. And thank you so much for Baika for the awesome knowledge too. And lastly, thank you for everyone that has come into this event. We should meet in another awesome chances. I am Nabila. Thank you and good afternoon. Okay, so for the next, can we have documentations with online first with all of the Zoom? I think. Okay, everyone in Zoom, please turn on your camera because we will have a photo together with Mr. Jerry. Okay, so everyone, please turn on your camera because we will have a documentations. Okay, so everyone's here. Okay. So we have, okay. Okay, so everyone turn on your camera and we will have a photo. Mr. Jerry, you may see from this camera. Okay. Okay, counting one. Are you ready? Okay. Operators ready to take the photo? Anyone? Okay. Counting 1, 2, and 3. Say everyone say cheese. Okay. Everyone in the room, you can see on the camera on top. Okay. One more. And counting 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Just let's say bless. And everyone in here, would like to take photo too? Can we take photo together in? Everyone, you please just come to front for Mr. Hendra and please be with us in here.
Yes.
Everyone come closer to front and let's facing there. Okay, you can just like be in here. Everyone come closer now. Okay. Do you want to have your also? Okay. Okay, come on. Everyone, give to L. Okay. We go closer.
Sisi kanan kiri masih nonton, silakan ditambahin loh ya ini yang di atas ya kan, silakan yang tinggi terutama yang mundur ke belakang.
Okay. Okay, everyone ready? Okay, counting. Give. Kasih apa?
pakai video boleh? Nah, kita Vivat ya. Vivat terus di video ya. Oke. Oke. Ayo, diabani videonya kan nanti kita Vivat, oke? Vivat!
Check.
Thank you so much, everyone, for coming into this opportunity. Don't forget to fill the pre-test. Don't forget to fill the feedback and presency that the committee will share in the Zoom link. Thank you all. Everyone can leave the room now if you have any other things to do. Thank you so much for coming. Don't forget to fill the present link and also the feedback link for today's event. Thank you so much. We'll see you in other chances.
Oh, Meksiko. Itu Dr. Jeffrey. Oh.
Yes, we are happy. Correct. Yeah. And the meeting one person. Udah selesai. Ya, Pak, we can discuss. These are all the yeah. So if we responsible, we ask the lecturer. Yeah, I think it's important to know what we want to do.
The problem is still don't know what to do.
It's not you don't know, but you need to discuss. So that's why we hope that you can align. You can align internally, then we propose. All right, so that's it. So the next is
Bukan.
Beauty box.
Oh, I see. Terima kasih, Pak. Maaf tadi saya lanjutkan. Saya mau tanya Pak.
Ganti apa no?
Dibacain, Pak.
Pak Hendro rapi ya.